Solana's price has finally made a move that we've been looking for the last 2 weeks. And so because of that, of course, I'm going to keep you guys as up to date as possible. So we're not going to waste any more time at all. And we're going to get straight into today's video. So as you can see on the Solana charts right here, we are in the exact position that we have been talking about for the last few weeks. We had, of course, been in some type of ascending structure here. And I was saying, hey, this is giving signs that it's going to break to the downside. I don't even think we're going to get a move all the way back up to this $30 level, probably somewhere around the $27 level. Be very careful. And we even talked about in the newsletter from Friday, the free newsletter, it is in the link in the description, but you can see here, right? If we get one more bounce, probably towards $27 before likely pulling back again to the bottom side of the channel. And that's exactly what happened. We came right up here to about $26.85. So I was off about 15 cents, but we did get this reversal right back down to the bottom side of the channel into the breakout. Okay, so as you can see here, we've been expecting that this pullback was going to happen. Now, I also told you that if it did happen and when it did happen, once we lost support, that we were going to have 4 major support levels that could hold us up from seeing a very strong correction to the downside. Those levels were, of course, $23.74, $23.25, $22.26, and $20.39. Well, you may be asking, well, Tyler, how did you get these levels? Well, all you have to do is look at the previous times that we established support on the ascending level of support. We bounced on it right here, right here, right here, right here. Every time that you bounce off of the ascending level of support, you are then creating a breakdown target. You are creating a point in which the price will likely come down to and look to see some bullish liquidity and try to continue this move to the upside, okay? And you can see it's already active. So as you can see, the moment we did get a breakout to the downside here, where do we go straight to before bouncing? Oh, this previous point, $23.74, which is that exact level of support that we laid out way before this thing broke out to the downside, okay? So remember, at this given point, the whole goal here is to see a bounce off of one of these levels and then re-enter into this channel. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's about the only bullish option that we have right now. If we're capable of doing that, then we're in a fantastic position. I think at this given point, we would need to see the price bounce back above $26 before I could confidently say that we're going to see any type of upward growth, at least in the next, 5, 6, 7 days or so. It seems more likely that we're going to start to come revisit some of these lower support levels in which we have established. So at this given point, unless we come back down again and we double bottom and we just really see some momentum and rocket back up to $25, I would be on the lookout for $23.25 to be broken, and at that given point we would see some type of pullback all the way towards $22.22. Now, if that does happen, say I'm completely 100% on the money and this happens, you really need to be paying attention at that given point. Now, the reason I say that is because that is going to align us with this MLS. What is an MLS? An MLS is a mid-level of support, and that's typically in between 2 points of resistance that create a double top. As you can see, we have this double top. Now, in this double top, there's this point of support where we put in right here. That's called your MLS, mid-level of support. Boom, right? Now, the whole thing with a double top is that you don't want to lose the MLS. The moment you lose the MLS, that double top is then active, and you are likely going to get forced all the way back down to some of these lower levels. In this example, $20.39, which is a 16 to 15% crash from where we are here, okay? We don't necessarily want to see that happen. And so overall, you need to be paying very close attention. If we lose $23.25, we need to hold on $22.26. If we hold this level and then we start to look to see some growth, we're fantastic. But the loss of this level does look like a strong capitulation to the downside. And then we got to worry about a head and shoulders playing out. Okay, so there's just simply a lot to pay attention to the moment that we do start to lose this $23.25 to $22.26 level, this little zone right here. And so I would be watching this thing incredibly closely. I 100% am saying right now that it could go up or it could go down, and that is because I do not know how this week's news is going to affect the price. I'm not going to sit here and try to just make a prediction because I don't know what CPI data and earnings and economic data and all of this stuff is going to do to Solana. I simply know that if we go back up above 26, we're in great position to see continuation. But if we do lose 23.25, we're in position for a crash to the downside. And so the easiest way to go about this is to simply just make a range, right? Let's go ahead and call this 26. Let's go ahead and call this 22. Let's call it, for now, let's actually just stick with about 23.25 right there. And let's just say this. If we break to the bottom side of this range, a short trade isn't a terrible idea, but I would keep a strong stop loss. If we do break to the top side of this range, going long isn't a horrible idea, but of course do pay very close attention to these little wick highs, as they could give us a bit of a rejection back to the downside before looking for continuation, okay? The easiest way to go about this right now without trying to force it is simply by creating a range and sticking to it. And so this is the range that I'm watching out for, and I may do a little bit of trading if this range is broken, whether it be to the downside or whether it be to the upside, okay? Remember, guys, my whole goal on this channel is not to be right. I don't want to be the guy who predicted what the price did. I want to be the guy who prepared everyone for anything that the price can do. And so overall, you need to be prepared for either one of these outcomes, okay? So make sure that you pay attention to that. Keep a very close eye on it. In terms of the daily chart, something like the RSI isn't showing terrible signs. Of course, we are seeing a little bit of divergence here, in which we are getting this, right, continued higher lows, higher highs, but continued lower highs and lower lows on the RSI. That is a sign that we are likely to see some type of stronger correction to the downside. And I do believe we have still pulled away from that 20-day simple moving average pretty far still. Yeah, we have just started to come back to revisit it. And at the loss of 23.28, that also does confirm the loss of the 20 SMA, which then puts us in position to revisit as low as $18.60 at this current point. And so everything points to me right now that if we lose this 23.28 level, I would expect some type of further correction to the downside, in a short trade with a tight stop loss isn't a horrible idea at that given point. Now, if you want to go in on these trades, you can use my link in the description for PrimeXBT. Our channel is running a campaign with them where you can get 7% cash back on deposits, up to $7,000 in bonuses when you do deposit, and also huge discounts on all trading fees. They are VPN friendly, so you can use a VPN. I know a lot of you like your privacy, so it is no issue with that also if you want to withdraw or make any transactions, anything of that nature. And you can use the link in the description. Again, if you do want a lot of those bonuses, I wouldn't miss out on it. You guys know I bring you campaigns like this pretty often because you can get a lot of great rewards from it. But overall, that is what I'm seeing from Solana right now. And I do believe it will be best to be very careful, especially with all of the volatility that will be coming from all of the news coming this week. Now, I will be going live tomorrow on the main channel and covering a lot of the CPI data and how it's affecting the market, and by giving my predictions on what is coming next. So make sure you do subscribe to the channel to not miss that live stream. And if you did like what you saw from my newsletter, again, that is in the description. You can go subscribe completely for free. It is something that I give market and technical analysis and a whole bunch of stuff in. So make sure you do go check that out. But with that said, I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.